Welcome to the Pink Lady Against Scammers podcast. Well, hello, everyone. I am excited. I have an awesome person who has a great, successful online dating story, and his name is Philip Backett. And Philip, hello and welcome.
Thanks so much, Patsy. Happy to be here with you.
Great. So, give us a little background of everything that you do, and then we'll dive right into your success story.
Yeah, so for me, I basically am an author, consultant, entrepreneur, based out of Boston. I'm married for 8 years, father of twin daughters for 7 years, and yeah, just have a good dating success story that I could share with you because I'm actually living the aftermath of it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, like which dating app did you use? How long were you on there? Just tell us everything.
Yeah, so for me, I was using Coffee Meets Bagel back in the summer of 2015. And so I think what was different about that dating app for those who aren't familiar with Coffee Meets Bagel is you don't necessarily swipe left or right, ad nauseum for multiple times a day. What you essentially have is you have one profile that comes up at a certain time. I think it was like noon. So clearly it's about 9, almost 10 years since this. So I'm trying to remember off of memory here. But you literally had this one profile that show up at noon. You got a notification for it, and you decided, do you accept it or do you reject it? Either way, you won't get any more until the next day. Um, and thankfully, the person that came up, I was doing what it is for.
That's awesome. So where did you go like on your first get together?
Yeah, so we actually had our first date in Panera Bread.
Mm,
And it was interesting because I think for me, um, kind of new to online dating, you're kind of thinking to yourself, this is kind of like speed dating, it's kind of like speed networking. You're not really thinking you're gonna be too invested in your first get together, right? And so I was thinking along the lines of like, hey, we'll go to Panera Bread. I'll get myself a chai. She'll get something that she wants to drink. Maybe you get like a bagel or a cookie or something like that. Something small just to say, hey, like I at least put something into this. You sit down, you have a conversation. 30 minutes later, you're thinking, okay, this was nice. Oh, I have to go. And, I got this. And it's a Sunday afternoon. I got to get ready for work or I got to get ready for school. And you just leave off of that. Right. Um, that clearly wasn't the case for me. We were there for about 7+ hours. We were there till they closed.
I love
And
it.
and seriously, it was just one of those things where it's just like we were having a conversation and it just was natural. We didn't feel like forced at all. It was more so like I kept on asking openly, what else can I tell you? Um, only times we braked was just to use the restroom, which my wife would later say she would use that as a way to let her friends know via text that, okay, everything's okay. He didn't kidnap me. He's not a psycho. Don't worry. We're just actually enjoying the day. Who would have thought? And outside of that, I think we got like a refill off of, whatever drink we had or whatever snack. We didn't even actually have dinner, which I thought would have made more sense if we couldn't spend that much time together. But yeah, it just ended a lot different from what I expected.
Oh, that's awesome. Try their chocolate chip muffies. They're delicious.
Okay.
We have Panera here, but it started out as St. Louis Bread Company, and then they changed the name to Panera because they got to be more nationwide. Although there's one or two here that still call it St. Louis Bread Company, but
Oh, nice.
but yeah, no, we just had that last night for dinner, my daughter and I. So how
See,
long did? Oh, go ahead.
no, I was about to say I wish we could. They actually closed down the Panera Bread where we went not too long ago.
Oh
So it's
no.
now just a figment of our imagination now. We can't even show our girls exactly like the actual place, the actual table we sat at. Nope. That it's
Oh,
completely
that's
different now.
awful. Yeah. So how long did the two of you date before you decided to get married?
Ooh, probably about 3 or 4 months.
Oh, nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you just know.
So, I mean, my biggest thing, Patsy, was like, okay, listen, if I'm going to spend 7 hours with you on the first time I'm meeting you, and all we did was just had a couple of chai drinks, didn't even have dinner, and you still want to see each other afterwards after like taking her back to her place and just say, "Oh, this is nice, all right," and you literally just dropped her off and you went on your own and that sort. Um, that to me come off as really different, where I was basically saying to myself, "There's something different about her."
Yeah.
And I think there might be something more to this. And yeah, thankfully it was.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Because what I do, you always hear about the bad side of online dating. And there is a good side. And I like to have people on who can share their story. Now, when you started on Coffee Meets Bagel, I gotta Google this later. Um, was she the first person you had met on there, or were there any others?
Oh yeah, there were others.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not as
Uh,
successful.
oh yeah, clearly, like not as successful. Like the ones that you said yes to, they didn't say yes back. Some that we both said yes to, and the messaging afterwards was kind of stale. This was clearly the most successful because it actually led to a first date, and the first date was great.
I love it. I love it. So when did you get married then, after you knew you wanted to be together
So it's
forever?
the summer 2015. We got married that following May.
Cool, cool. Well, happy late anniversary.
Thank you so much. Yep, absolutely. 8 years. Here we go.
That's awesome. Do you ever like tell all your other friends you really should give it a try, or are you kind of just keep it to yourself?
No, I think now I'm just becoming more open now that we've lasted 8 years so far. It's just like, hey, like there might be something here if you're coming in with the right intentions and the right mindset and the right approach with it and that sort.
Yeah,
You actually can, be successful with it, so to speak. But yeah, I think now I'm just more comfortable sharing these type of stories with people. Just hopefully it can help people be optimistic about it.
yeah. That's great. That's awesome. So I was reading your profile on we met on Podmatch.
Hmm.
Um, where are we? I thought it said that you're a Master of Divinity. Do you actually like preach at a church, or just you just have like the degree?
So I can.
Yeah, there you go.
Sometimes I had to limit myself from preaching on podcasts when I feel so moved to do so.
Yeah,
But no, yeah, I think it more so it was definitely for study for sure, to grow my own faith.
yeah,
But also as far as being open to, whatever service I could be for God later on as well. So,
yeah.
we'll see where things go from here.
I love it. I love it. I'm Catholic, so I absolutely love it. And then you said you've written some books. What books have you written, or book? Like,
Yeah, so I've written 6 books this year. I think we're gonna call it even on this as far as as far as writing any more books. The book that's probably the most popular is called Disagree Without Disrespect: How to Respectfully Debate with Those Who Think, Believe, and Vote Differently from You.
oh, I love it.
And so the funny thing about that book, Patsy, is it's honestly a book I think that anybody could appreciate because it involves any type of relationship you're in, including romantic, when you're working with or you're enjoying the company of somebody that you don't always agree on everything with, you know?
Yes.
And I think especially now, like clearly I'm out of the dating app game for a while. But the stories I'm hearing were basically, people's profiles are getting to the point that some people are, pretty much being very open and saying, listen, if you favor this type of policy or this type of party, political party, or this type of candidate, go ahead and swipe left. Go ahead and just, move on to somebody else. And while I can appreciate the intent of letting people know where you stand and just, hey, I don't want to waste anybody's time. I think the challenge of that is you're probably missing out on a significant group of people that you can learn from.
Hmm.
Because even for me and my wife, we don't agree on everything. We don't necessarily vote the same way either. So if we were to say something like that, and basically put the door in front of people saying, "Hey, don't even bother," that's a good way you can miss out on Mr. and Mrs. Right.
I was just thinking the same thing. It could be a big opportunity, and that could be your soulmate, and you don't know it. Gosh, that's really good. Is there anything that you would like to plug besides that book? I got to go look it up now. It sounds like
Yeah.
something I'd like to read. Is there anything that you have going on or coming up that you want to plug?
No, I think that's the big thing.
Yeah.
I think if people got a chance to check out that book on Amazon, either look it up, Disagree Without Disrespect, or look up my name, Philip Blackett, Philip Blackett. You can see some of my other books there. But I think that book in particular, Disagree Without Disrespect, when it comes to dating, relationships, dating apps and that sort, um, I think there's a lot there that hopefully can be a benefit to people.
Yeah. No, that sounds great. I'm going to check it out. I like to read. So,
Absolutely.
I have my iPad, so I download some books, but I still like going to the bookstore or even on Amazon and ordering like a physical book. I'm still old-fashioned about that,
Oh yeah,
but
absolutely. Both formats we got available for you. You got ebook
sweet.
and a paperback.
Sweet. Well, Philip, thank you so much for being a guest. I really appreciate it. And I am so excited to hear about your happy story of online dating and you and your wife and your beautiful kids. You are very blessed.
Thank you so
Um,
much.
so thank you so much. And, if you ever want to come back, just let me know. If you got something to
Absolutely.
plug, or you know somebody else that had a success story with online dating, send them my way.
Okay, I'll keep my antennas out there for them. I'll let you
Hey,
know if I see anything.
super. Thank you.
All right, thanks so much.
So the new dating site to check out is Coffee Meets Bagel. They do have a Facebook page. I didn't have time to look it over too much, but check it out. It worked for Philip and it could work for you. Also, please tune in to my TikTok lives. I do them every night during the week. I start at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. On Saturday at 7 p.m. I have people join in the boxes while I talk to scammers live, and I have everyone that participates. Uncle Tony, if you've seen my videos, he's not really my uncle, but he is one of my followers and I follow him and he's a really awesome guy. So if you're on TikTok, you need to follow him. It's Antonio Tony Big Boss and he does scammer education as well. And he portrays my Uncle Tony when these guys are trying to scam me, and his voice will scare the daylights out of you. But he's a very, very nice guy. So I always have my monthly schedule posted on my TikTok. I have it pinned at the top, which will say when I'm going to be on, which is almost every night. But if something changes, that will get updated. So you can always check there and see, hey, is Patsy going to be on tonight? Come join the fun. We have a good time. I also stream on YouTube Live at the same time. So if you want to come over there, which I have a few friends over there, Chaos and Daniel and Bally are just a couple of the people that I've met. My YouTube is Patsy3919 and you can observe over there. The only thing is you can't hear my music and my sound effects for some reason. I guess because that's my main computer and I guess YouTube and that don't like it. I don't know. But join us. Join me. It's a lot of fun. And thank you so much for tuning in. I really, really appreciate everybody that comes in and listens and visits me on TikTok and everywhere. So, as I end every episode, they don't love you,